Welcome to a new video on the Photography Minimalist. Now that we're slowly getting this corona crisis behind us, I will have more opportunity to get out and take photos. In this video, I'm going to be using the Pentax SP1000 coupled with its standard 55mm 2.0 Super Takumar lens. And in the camera, I'm going to be loading a roll of Ilford Pan F+, which is a 50 ISO black and white film. So let's first dive into the details with regards to the camera, after which I will show you the results which I was able to achieve, and at the end I'll give you my conclusion with regards to using the camera and also with regards to the Ilford Pan F+. Let's get started. So let's have a detailed look at the Pentax SP1000. When we look at the top plate, we see the serial number and also the model number, which is SP1000. We also see the shutter speed dial, which clicks and goes from a B bulb mode all the way through to 1/1000th of a second. When we lift up the outer ring, we can turn this to adjust the ISO level, which we see here in this small window. Of course, the film advance lever, which incorporates a film counter, and we have the shutter release button, to which you can also connect a remote shutter release cable. The sound of the SP1000 is similar to the K1000 and KX models, which I also own. On the left we have, of course, the film rewind knob and an outer ring, so you can remember if you put in color, film, or black and white, or if the camera is empty. The back of the camera, nothing special. Beneath the camera we see the battery compartment, the tripod mount, and also the button to rewind your film. Let's have a look at the front of the camera, where we can see the 55mm 2.0 Super Takumar lens. The Super Takumar is a multi-coated version, a later version of this lens. We also see a switch on the lens, which goes from auto to manual. When you have it in manual position, then you adjust your aperture and your aperture stays in that position. If you put it to auto, then the aperture for focusing purposes will always be at the 2.0, bringing in as much light as possible through the lens, making it easy to focus on your subject. In that situation, when you press the shutter, it will automatically jump to the aperture which you have adjusted for. So for example, if I put it to aperture 8 in the automatic mode, I can focus on 2.0, which is ideal, and when I press the shutter release button, it will automatically jump to f8. There's also a switch on the camera that you can press up, which activates the light meter. And when you press the shutter release, it switches back into the off position. We also have two flash connections, external flash connections, an X and an FP for focal plane bulbs. And this is all that I can tell you about the Pentax SP1000. So now let's have a look at the results which I was able to achieve. So what is my conclusion with regards to using the Asahi Pentax SP1000? Well, as I've gotten used to from the older model Pentax cameras, as I mentioned previously, I own the K1000 and I also own a KX, is that early Pentax cameras from late 60s and in the 70s had a very good build quality. And with this camera, that's no exception. It's a very reliable camera. It is also a fully manual camera. With regards to the lens, even though it is multi-coated, I would use a lens hood because it is prone to flare. That's essential if you want high contrast and sharp images, so that is something to take into account. But even so, the lens quality is absolutely fine. Now when I talk about the film, I was positively surprised because this film is capable of producing very sharp images. And what is especially interesting is that there is hardly any grain. One thing that is very important in using this film is that you need a high quality sharp lens. And in that sense, the 55mm 2.0 is sufficient, but again, prone to flare. Besides that, it is a very versatile film. Even at 50 ISO on a sunny day, you can shoot at 1/125th of a second at f/16, which is fine. And for me, puts forward the question, why do we not use this film more often to get very sharp and considerably high contrast photos? So in that sense, I'm going to be using this film more often. One thing that is an issue with this film is that it does not always record the highlights correctly. So that's something that you need to take into account when metering your scene. So make sure that you protect the highlights if that is essential in your composition. I developed this film in Takumar S, which is a developer by Takumar, and I developed it for 17 minutes and it gave me excellent results. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, just put them forward to me. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you're more than welcome to do so you keep track of all the videos that I'm going to be bringing out. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.